Ever felt this deep pull towards something? A decision, a change, a conversation, maybe a dream that keeps coming back no matter how many times you try to ignore it. And there's this part of you that just knows, like, wow, I think I'm meant to do this. But almost immediately another voice comes in. But what if I'm wrong? What if I fail? What if this doesn't work out? And suddenly you're questioning everything. So how do you know the difference between your intuition guiding you and fear trying to protect you? Because here's the thing. Fear does not always mean stop. And feeling scared does not always mean you're on the wrong path. Sometimes the doorway into the life you've been asking for is the same doorway your fear is standing in front of. Today we're talking about how you can know the difference. Hello, you beautiful human, and welcome back to the Psychic Portal podcast. It's such an honor that we get to spend this time together. So let's dive in. Today we're going deep on a question that I think every single person on this journey has asked at some point. And that is, how do I know if this is my intuition? And how do I know if this is just fear? Because let me tell you, this question comes up all the time in readings, at retreats, in conversations, and someone will genuinely say, hey, like, I feel this pull. I feel like I'm supposed to leave the job or start this thing or move to this place, have this conversation, make this change in my life, but I'm terrified. So does that mean it's not for me? Like, I don't know what to do. And I want to talk about this because I think we've misunderstood something really important. I think as a society, we have been taught that if something is aligned, it will always be easy. That if it's meant for us, there's going to be no resistance. That the universe is going to just magically unlock every door effortlessly. And sometimes, honestly, it does happen. And that's so beautiful. We love those moments. But the truth is, some of the biggest transformations of your life will require you to meet a version of yourself you've never been before. And your nervous system might have something to say about that. I want to talk to you about the brain because your brain loves what is familiar to you. It's not necessarily what is good for you, just familiar. And there's a big difference. Your mind's job is not to help you become the most expanded, aligned, fulfilled version of yourself. Your mind's first job is survival, safety, protection. And I think that's amazing. I don't believe that we need to fight these parts of ourselves. The part of you that is scared, she's usually trying to protect you from something. She remembers maybe the time that you felt really embarrassed, or the time you were rejected, the time you failed, the time something didn't work out. She remembers that. And maybe she says something like, hey, are you sure you want to try this again? You want to do this? And sometimes we mistake the protective voice as truth. But what if we started asking a different question? Instead of asking yourself like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid. What does that mean? What am I supposed to do? Why don't you ask, hey, what is this fear protecting me from? Because fear alone does not mean no. Sometimes fear actually is telling you, hey, this matters, or this is new, or this is unknown territory. Think about anything meaningful you've ever done in your life. The first day at a new job, falling in love, starting a business, moving somewhere new, having a difficult conversation. Were you completely fearless? Probably not, because expansion often stretches us. Now, here's where discernment comes in, because not every fear is something to push through. Sometimes fear is information. Sometimes your body is saying, hey, pay attention. This isn't right. Something feels off. And learning the difference is where your relationship with yourself deepens. And for me, I talk about this often, but fear feels chaotic to me. It creates a million stories, a million imaginary events or experiences that could unfold and all these things. It pulls you out of the moment into every possible future outcome where something could go wrong. But intuition, I truly believe intuition is quite simple. It doesn't argue. It doesn't defend itself. It's just there. It's a knowing. It's a truth. And it sometimes is that soft whisper like, hey, pay Pay attention to this. And here's where I think this journey gets really, really beautiful. Because learning the difference between fear and intuition isn't about never feeling fear again. That's not the goal. The goal isn't to become someone who is just fearless. The goal is just to become someone who knows how to listen, someone who knows how to sit with themselves and ask, wow, where is this coming from? Is this coming from an old wound? Is this coming from something I was taught to believe? Is this coming from a past version of me that I learned I had to protect? Or is this coming from a deeper truth inside of me? Because sometimes fear is the guard that's standing in front of the door you actually need to walk through. And sometimes fear is a signal saying, hey, slow down. Pay attention. Something needs your awareness here. This is why discernment is everything. It's not about ignoring the fear. It's not about forcing yourself into every uncomfortable situation. It's really about creating enough connection with yourself that you can tell the difference. Because your body is also always communicating with you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, the things that you resist, your excitement, your curiosity, it's all giving you information. And I think one of the greatest relationships we will ever build in this lifetime is the relationship we have with our own inner world. Learning your own language, learning your own patterns, learning when you are protecting yourself, and learning when you're holding yourself back. Because your next level, the next version of you, the life you keep feeling called toward, it usually asks you to meet the unknown. And the unknown will almost always bring fear. Not because it's wrong, not because it's something that you just shouldn't do. Just it's because it's new. So if there's something on your heart right now, a dream, a decision, a change, a conversation, or a version of yourself you keep feeling called towards, I want you to ask yourself, if I knew everything was going to work out, what would I choose? And it's not because I think life can just promise us that, not because we get that guarantee, but that question really shows you something. It shows us where fear has been making decisions that our heart is meant to make, that our soul is meant to make. And maybe the answer isn't to jump. Maybe it's just that one small step, that one honest conversation, that one choice, that one moment of trusting yourself. Because this is how the relationship is built. One courageous, brave moment at a time. And maybe the greatest question isn't, what if I'm wrong? What if, and all the fear. Maybe the greatest question is, what if this part of me has been right all along? And I don't have to be afraid. Thank you so much for being with me today. If this episode spoke to you, send it to someone you know is learning to trust themselves too. Until next time. I just want to sincerely thank you for stepping through the psychic portal with me today. This has been so amazing. And if you'd like to stay connected with me, you have so many options. Visit my website at thepsychicportal.org. On that website, you can book a reading with me, explore spiritual coaching, you can join our sisterhood, attend a retreat, look up any of the upcoming events that you would like to come to, and you'll find the links in my show notes to my website. You can also find me on social media at thepsychicportal4, like the number 4. And I just want to say, if anything resonated with you today, please feel free to leave a review, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share this with a dear friend that needs to hear this message. And as we close, my wish for you is always the same. May you always trust your inner knowing. May you have the courage to follow what is true for you. And remember that your wisdom lives within your heart. Until next time, my angel, keep shining. I love you. Bye.